Earlier this week, the BCCI hit a jackpot. The IPL media rights were sold for an astronomical sum of 48,000 crore. The billion-dollar baby is a billion-dollar team now, and I have at this hour the father of the league with me, Lalit Modi, former IPL commissioner. Thank you for joining me on the broadcast. Lalit, when IPL started in 2008, an established Mumbai-based author called it cricket on a word I can't say on national TV, starting with C, but you must have read that article. Now, yes, it becoming the second most lucrative sports property in the world. How would you describe the evolution?
I mean, becoming lucrative is fine, which is always going to happen, but in terms of viewership, that is the most important thing. That is how we become lucrative. The viewership is now also probably the highest in the world per game, in terms of number of people watching and the eyeballs that are actually getting attracted to the game. I think it is, I've always maintained that, and everybody laughed at me when I said IPL is recession-proof. And it really is coming out to be true that it is really a recession-proof sport as far as India is concerned. And we have got newer and newer fan bases that are joining in. But we have to be careful going forward because the younger age group are very discerning and they're mostly on digital. That's why you see the digital rights have gone up tremendously in price. But their experience has not been so good in India today as far as being able to watch it on a particular platform. The Jio platform that has it is not very user-friendly at the current moment. Mm-hmm. When you turn the phone around from horizontal to vertical position, it doesn't capture that, and that loses the faith in the fan, and they're really disappointed from when I talk to them about that.
Lalit, IPL has been your passion project. The league was attacked for corruption, spot fixing, teams were even banned. Do you think that IPL has now been able to do a clean-up act?
It has. It has really been able to do it, and it's moving up in the right direction. I think with the Gujarat Titans, the first season performing absolutely tremendously from scratch. I mean, that has shown that there is faith now in the game, and there is no fixing and anymore, and that it has taken a new turn. And I've always maintained that Ahmedabad is always one of the key areas. We've been trying to get that into the system for a long time. I'm really glad that Ahmedabad is now and has performed outstandingly in the past series.
And why would you say so that Ahmedabad is key?
Whenever we've always maintained from the day one, the Gujarat population has been very hungry and for the games. When we had in season 2, season 3, not season 2, season 3. We split the Rajasthan Royal game between Gujarat and Jaipur. Right. We saw that the viewership at Ahmedabad had really taken a big hike in IPL. And the fans were really hungry out there. And also, secondly, you've got to understand today, as we sit here and watch the world landscape, the Narendra Modi Stadium that has been built at Ahmedabad is absolutely world-class. It has shown the world that we can actually build world-class properties. And this is the most disappointing thing for me right now. Sitting here 15 years and the IPL has launched to today.
Right. Please go on.
100,000 crores to the BCCI kitty in total. 58,000 in the last 8 years alone. 50% of that money remains with the BCCI. 50% is shared with the IPL franchises, as an example. What has BCCI done to upgrade that infrastructure? You look at Kotla. They should demolish Kotla. They should demolish most of the stadium and build fresh. You lose a season or two in hosting a game, no heavens are going to fall. But you can put world-class infrastructure in, air conditioning, good toilets, good hygienic eating places, good viewer experience, better seats. And that kind of getting in and out of the stadium, car parks. You can go underground, you can go build. But you need to put that money in to build world-class stadiums. What is the 80% of the money that goes to the BCCI is passed out to the National Association, to the State Association. They should mandate this, and this is not what is happening. I mean, we did a report in 2010 by a global company that actually looked at the infrastructure of the BCCI, and I have sent you copies of the report. Please analyze them. Every stadium. I mean, they're disaster.
Now, Lalit, when IPL was sold in season 1, matches went for 13.6 crore rupees. Today, each match has been sold for 118 crore rupees. How much credit would you give the current dispensation for fixing the kind of valuation that they have done?
It is not them. It is the fan base that done it. I've always said every 3 or 4 years it will double. The price of IPL will continue to double. If you look at all my interviews from 2008, I said every 3 years you'll see the value of IPL double in terms of media rights. And it's gone up by 98% over the last cycle. From the last cycle to this cycle is 98%. And I'm telling you now, going forward in the next cycle, it'll double again. It's not the dispensation of the management. It is the star base. It is the fan base that dictates the pricing. Because if the fans are not there, nobody's going to pay for it. The broadcasters are not foolish enough to shell out this kind of money if they're not going to recover it. They may be in a loss in year 1 or so, but not going forward. So I think that it is the fan and only the fans that dictate the terms.
IPL now has become the number 2 league in the world. How much time do you think it'll now take to become the number 1, overtake NFL?
It will definitely overtake NFL, and I've always said it'll be the number 1 sports league sooner than later. But it all depends on the innovation for the OTT platform, the digital rights. If we are able to get our act together on digital, you will see digital overtaking television in terms of viewership and in terms of revenue immediately. I think the digital rights will go 3 to 4 times that of television in the next cycle. And that is if we get our act together right. I mean, a lot of money has to be spent on technology, on the digital platform, a viewer experience, more cameras. There should be the feed has to change. There's no spider cam. You need to go with the drone technology. Unless you put the drone technology in, you will not be artificial intelligence. Another area that needs to be focused on. All of these new technologies will bring user experience to better. If the consumer can or the fan can choose which camera to watch on a digital hand screen, it will take the revenue up. It takes the experience up. But right now we're not geared for that. So a lot of emphasis is, with all the money that we are making, I think a lot of it needs to be spent back out and making sure that the digital experience is better. You can't expect the fans to have that and other broadcasters to spend that money. BCCI needs to put in the money.
Right, we will talk about fan experience and how the money can be recovered. Lalit, at this point, I have to ask you about the man Lalit Modi, who was expelled from BCCI on alleged facilitation fee cleared by the Bombay High Court. What is now coming in the way of your coming back to India? Is it politics?
No politics. I'm very, very friendly with the government. I have no problem with that. I have no cases at all. I mean, I'm really happy that it's taken a long time for it to clear. Finally, my name has been cleared as far as the court case is concerned. There's still the FIR in Chennai, which we're trying to get cleared off. Once that clears up, I will be back in India. I don't want a lingering issue of any court saying that I have not. Even that case I have won, but they won't publish the judgment. Somebody's stopping the judgment in Chennai. I don't know who, but you should be able to guess who it is. The FIR report, I have a copy of the report, which clears me also. But there's still that hanging sword in Chennai, and my lawyer, Mr. Salve, won't let me go until that is cleared. And so we are hoping that we will be filing that application we're trying to see if we can get that to Supreme Court, but we're not getting any luck in the High Court.
So we might see Lalit Modi back in India very soon?
I'm hoping. I miss India very much, and I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the IPL numbers. 48,000 crore, crazy numbers. Give us the breakup, Lalit. How can IPL earn back as much as in the TV and the digital platforms earn as much?
No, IPL has already earned that money. How can the
broadcasters, the media rights owners?
Yeah, that's why I said, the digital rights are an investment this year. They're an investment for the digital companies and create the rights. If they create the user experience that I'm talking about, artificial intelligence, number of cameras, the viewer can choose what he or she wants. It will help them recover. The people today, the younger population today, are very, very discerning. They don't want to watch the full game. They want to watch part of the game. They want to watch stories. They want to see funny things. They want to see incidents that take place. They want to pay for that. They don't mind paying for that. And in terms of numbers, this is called the Generation Z, as I would call it. In the US, we have 68 million Z generation people. That accounts for probably 80% of the digital rights in the US for any product. In India, you'll be surprised to know we have 256 million of those Generation Z people. They are the future of the viewership going forward. They are not the people who are used to watching on television. They probably don't even have a television. What they do have is a computer or their mobile phone. And that's where they watch most of the entertainment on. Mm-hmm. Unless that experience is greater, that is where lies the fruit going forward. Television will continue to grow because it's the number of eyeballs. The per 10-second rate will increase dramatically and it will double over last year. And I don't see that as a problem because it's prime time viewership and prime time always dictates and always goes up. And cricket always delivers the viewership. You know, I had heard some report this year that the ratings were down over COVID. Now, when you were at COVID time, you will understand it was an extraordinary time. Everybody was sitting at home and doing nothing. So IPL was like a boon to them for entertainment and everything else going forward. But non-COVID time, when people have other jobs to do, that's what I said. People don't have the luxury of sitting today and watching the whole game because the younger population is always mobile, on the move, and they need to have that experience on the phone. And that has not been captured in the viewership data that has been projected out. If we capture that data of the past year even, I think the viewership is already higher.
Lalit, the digital rights went for 23,758 crore rupees. That is probably 7.8 times it went for in the past. Do you think that this money can be recovered through subscription and advertising?
Not in the first year or two, but it will definitely be that. I've been only talking about that. The digital rights of the future. The future of television globally in any product is digital rights, OTT, what we call. That is where the future lies. And that is where the younger population, the Generation Z is. And the 256 million hardcore people who can afford to pay for the rights, who can afford to pay to watch. But will they do that? It depends on the platform. That is, and I think Jio is a very strong platform. They have good muscle power in terms of subscribers. Also, it has the big war chest of money available to it to be able to do that. So I think it's the right company. I've been always wanting to see Mr. Ambani get into this, and I think this will be a major area of going forward, of their revenues coming forward. If you look at 2009, 2010 actually, when I went for the IPL fun feed with Google, I went to YouTube and I started the IPL fun feed with them. Mm-hmm. They had no idea what we were talking about. Right. But then I had my team create an IPL fun feed 24/7, following the players, etc. This is what's going to happen in the future. I mean, I was before my time in 2010, but in that time we didn't have many. The data streaming was very expensive. Mm-hmm. It was not available to everybody very easily. Today, data streaming is virtually free, and that's what people are living on. And going forward, because we have the bandwidth, 4G is coming, 5G is coming in. I don't know whether in India we have 5G right now or not. I mean,
it will be there soon, yes.
5G is going to be the solution for the revenue coming in. Because unless you have 5G or data streaming, it will be very difficult for the 4G platform to be able to stream the quality that will match
that you are actually talking of. Now, Lalit, being the father of IPL, I have to ask you this question. You know, there's a lot of talk about whether India is going the England way. While we have the best T20 tournament in the world, we are not winning ICC trophies since 2011, like England having the EPL, but not winning the World Cup.
I don't understand why. Is it a morale issue? Is it a selection issue? I don't understand because we have the best team. I mean, not best team, we are the best players in the world.
Right.
If you look at our bench strength in cricket is the world's best. Are they getting hiccups? Are the team owners managing their players better than the BCCI is managing its players? This is the question that needs to be understood. I haven't actually focused on that, but hopefully by your next interview with me, I will start focusing on that area.
Also, you know, there is a talk of there being a 2.5 month dedicated window. Would that not be an overkill? Already there's a fatigue that sets in every year. We've seen in the middle of the IPL season.
2.5 months I don't think there'll be a fatigue because you have the number of teams going up. Every season in football, etc. is long, but it's not continuous like we have in the IPL every day. I think a good solution would have been to split the seasons. which they were looking at earlier, taking the Champions League season and using that as a culmination. I don't know whether they will do that or have a secondary tournament in there. But club cricket is here to stay. And unfortunately, it will be to the detriment of national cricket. I think that the BCCI and the World Cricket Body should look at definitely trying to get cricket into the Olympics. That will have a great effect on the morale of the people and also on the country, because we will hopefully be able to gain gold medal out there. I don't know why they're resisting that. India should support it because India doesn't need the ICC revenues anymore. The IPL revenues are far greater than anything else that they could ever dream of. But other countries might object to it because their revenues are not very good. And their majority revenue is still coming from the ICC. ICC used to be a number one source of revenue in the past.
Right.
No more. Is it going to be, is that the case? IPL will dictate and continue to dictate going forward the rule of the game in terms of viewership and in terms of revenue. And that is what matters at the end of the day, because if you pay your players higher, they're going to be more loyal to you than they're going to be to the country. They may say what they want in an interview to sound nice, but ultimately it's the bank balance that will dictate the whatever it is. Whether we like it or we don't like it. You see pro golf today. PGA has a big fight on with Lit Golf that is continuing out there. You'll see Lit Golf delivering a better solution in the year forward because they're paying more. And you'll see the big guys jumping ship. And everybody's PGA right now banned all those players who don't Lit Golf.
Right.
And how long are they going to ban everybody else? At that point, and the competition is going to go. Ultimately, it is going to be based upon the livelihood of the cricketer, because he doesn't have a long life in this profession. You've got to understand it's age barred. How many years can he play? And he has to be able to make the bank balance going forward.
Well, Mithali Raj has played till the age of 39. This year she retired. Interesting that you spoke about cricket in the Olympic Games. This year, cricket is getting into the Commonwealth Games. The women's team is going to be there. Would you say that's a good first step?
First step, amazing step. And I think that's great. It'll be a big boost to the women's game. And I'm really glad. And I think we've seen I didn't see much of IPL women's game this year. But I think one of the biggest things they should do is make it mandatory for an IPL franchise to have a women's team. Now, if an IPL franchise owner is able to have a winning team, you will see the bench strength of Indian women go up. You'll see the investment in Indian cricket by the owners who are already making good money now. It's probably the only league in the world where every team makes money, apart barring the two new teams. But every team, the old 8 teams, everybody's in profit. There's no other league in the world, I can tell you that can demonstrate that. Why? Again, why? This is an important question. They have no infrastructure cost. Infrastructure cost is the single largest cost of most teams in the world. What I mean by that is a Chelsea team, infrastructure of stadium, etc. is very large. Here, when I planned the league, I said you don't need infrastructure. Infrastructure should be the prerogative of the BCCI. They already have infrastructure.
Right.
Why not use it and pay a per day kit? But that infrastructure needs to be upgraded. Again, but that is have the franchisee have a zero cost on the balance sheet. On the balance, and that is why they're making a lot of money. Now they should take that money, and if they were to groom women cricketers, it would be a great step, not only for women, but for the fans also, and also for the country. It will really give a different boost to the game. And if I was there, I would make sure that was the next step I would do, is making sure that give it free to all the franchisees today. So you can have an IPL women's team free, that don't know license fee. But that will encourage them then to pay the players, to get the women in, and start the coaching process and get them on. And then may not be televised game on television, but they can go on digital platform for definitely. That could be another boost for the digital rights holder. Give it to them free right now, the game. Don't charge for the IPL women's game. Give it to them free. And that's how you build fan base, and then you'll see. When I launched IPL in season 1, there was no buyer for international rights. Especially in England. So what happened? When I went to Sky TV, they didn't want it. So I went to ITV and I said, I'll pay you $1 million to show it. Okay? They were very happy that somebody is paying them. You pay them $1 million to show it. And then I said, don't worry, we'll get it back to you in year 2, 3. Then next year they paid $11 million. Mm-hmm. So, and you're paying for something because you're so confident of your product.
Right.
That you know you get it back many times. This is what they need to do.
And already Kenny Shah Rukh Khan has gone and bought a women's team in the Caribbean Premier League, and that's probably one of the first steps there.
That's right.
You know, already in India, the next generation is setting their eyes on becoming the big IPL star. Do you think that IPL has become as big a pull for other international stars, somewhat like EPL, or is it Australia's Big Bash that, you know, they aspire to play in, and that is a bigger pull than IPL?
No, it isn't, because you see, I told the Australian Cricket Board, and I've been telling my friends in the English Cricket Board also, they've been coming to me and asking me, what is going wrong with their model? Their model is that they're owned by the same entity. Mm-hmm. All teams are owned by the same entity. That is Cricket Australia owns all the teams. And same as the English Cricket, ETB own all the teams. They need to make sure the teams are owned by individuals. That's where the competition is. Otherwise, it's ghar ki baat. You take from you sit in a boardroom and everybody decides what to do with each other. That is not going to build fan base. When you have competitive owners who are different from everyone, who have their own egos, they are out there going out and making sure they capture the fan base. They do their own marketing. They do everything else to bring viewers to the stadium. Again, it will be very difficult to be able to chase India and catch up to India. Okay, these tournaments will go, but there will be no comparison. It's like the total revenue is equal to a one day of IPL, 113, 18 crores a game. I mean, that's what the total revenue of Big Bash would be.
Mm-hmm. There's a big concern whether Test cricket will survive the global T20 onslaught. Few other leagues are waiting to be launched, and ICC will release its FTP for the next cycle in July. Tell us, what are the biggest challenges in front of ICC right now?
It is a very big challenge, but I think Test cricket is a very important part of cricket. I've always been maintaining, and I said that in my conference, even when I presented to Lords in 2009, I said you need to change Test cricket from a day game to a day-night game. You need to bring it into the evening. Why? Because people are going to offices. And working. And youngsters are not interested in a 5-day game sitting in the stadium. Mm-hmm. But if you made it in the evening, you started at 4 o'clock start, at 10 o'clock at night, under lights, you will see a lot of people being able to go to the stadium after 5 o'clock office hours. Mm-hmm. And again, unless you make the user experience in the stadium more family-oriented, more fun-oriented, there needs to be right drinks and food and entertainment and more important, hygienic toilets, etc. Nobody's going to leave their home to go and watch it.
True.
Unless you are able to do that, you're not going to survive. I think the worst hit will be it'll be the 50-over game, 1 day cricket. I think that will over time phase out. I think it'll be 2020 and Test cricket. That is going to be the.
That's an important prediction that you're making. 2020 and Test cricket, that will remain ultimately. Lalit, I have to ask you, there was, about the spot fixing scandal in IPL. You have said that cricket has been clean. There was a Lodha reforms that was done. The reforms came in place in 2018. Do you think Indian cricket has changed?
I think it's changed. I'm looking at it from a broader picture. You've got to understand, to do fixing also, you need to be in the system for a long time and do it. I'm taking the example of Gujarat Titans as an example. They got into the fray 1 month before the IPL started. They went on to win from day one. Okay? That means everybody who tried to fix the game couldn't fix it. Mm-hmm. And so I think that, fixing has been very rife in the past. And you can see that in the results oriented. But I think this year has surpassed this. And I won't name any teams that have done badly or not done badly and who are fixing in the past. And I think today it shows that the system has been cleaned. I think the police has also acted very firmly. But I'm a little shocked to hear that the ICC anti-corruption unit is not that active in India. Is that true? I'm told that BCCI doesn't have that anymore on contract.
No, I think they are also serious about cracking down on forces that, cause corruption in the IPL. That I'm most sure that BCCI is very, very serious about.
My question was to you too. I'm not very clear. Is the ICC anti-corruption unit still part of the IPL or not?
No. ICC,
That's
and
what I thought.
they have their own people who are doing the anti-corruption.
And again, that is vested interest. I don't understand why an international body like the ICC, the International Corruption Unit, should not be there. That's being foolish. If you have to pay a little bit extra, why not? I really don't understand that. And secondly, for the first time I've noticed also that Indian empires, the two Indian empires on team, we never had that in the past in IPL when I did it. And there was a reason for that. Because we wanted to make sure that all international, that we are totally corruption free. This is a very important issue. And it will come to haunt us in the future, I'm going to tell you right now. We have done away with ICC, the Anti-Corruption Unit. We have done away with international empires coming from the ICC. Why? Why do we have to keep that? You fired INC. Why? To save a few dollars? Look at your bank balance, guys. Look at the bank balance. Why are you cutting back? That's foolish. To do what? The money is going where? You're not spending it on infrastructure.
They should put it back in cricket.
Whose pocket is in line?
Have
I want to know whose pocket is in
better
line.
integrity setups.
Now, if you want to see whose pocket is lying, don't look at the BCCI accounts. Go to the State Association accounts. Look at those. Scrutinize those. That is where the cat will come. You'll find where the mice and the cat are. This is where the problem lies. There is no audit of the State Association. We're getting hundreds of crores of rupees a year. Where is the money going?
And the onus is now on them to build infrastructure and make the fan experience better for the IPL. Lalit, please go ahead.
I think really, I'm not seeing any of that right now from the State Association side. Only state that has performed is Gujarat. Gujarat State International Stadium is the best. I mean, even Punjab, Mr. Bindra came to see me. I was at my daughter's wedding in Venice last month. And I had Mr. Bindra there. It was a very emotional day for me to see him there and Mrs. Bindra there. And even Punjab, it needs to upgrade the stadium, which is the best stadium. They're all looking at that. Which is very, but unless there is a mandate of the BCCI at the central level saying they're going to audit you, they're going to make sure, and it's the media that needs to go out there and film those stadiums, look at the toilets, look at the infrastructure, put it on national TV, make an outcry from the fan base, then only you see some changes. Otherwise, you're not going to see any changes. It's all dusted under the shed based upon this hype. Oh, BCCI making so much money. Guys, I made you that money. I lost it session 3. What have you done to improve the game?
Okay, let me ask you one last question. There have always been talks of Indian cricket being called a cozy boys club. If you were to describe it today, how would you describe it?
I was hoping that it would change. It hasn't changed. The Supreme Court had passed a rule of 9 years. I think they're finding ways and excuses to overcome that, to shove that. It's still a boys club, a cozy boys club. And this cozy boys club is not answering to, they think they made too much money, but guys, they don't understand who made it for that. I'm happy about it. I'm very happy with going there. Do something with it. Do something with it. You can do it. You have the resources to do it, which you didn't have earlier. Do you have the will to do it? Do you have the will to do it? That's the key issue. And unless we get on their backs, they'll all say, oh, he's just saying it off. I'm saying it off because I created it. You do show me something what you created.
Right. Well, we'll have to get back to that Virat Kohli word, intent. Lalit, thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast and hope to see you back in India very, very soon.
Thank you, Rika, for having me. Always a joy. Thank you.